From BBC Radio Scotland, this is Sports Sound.
Don't be stupid, boys. Turn off Clyde, support your side.
I would like to leave this city. This old town don't smell too pretty, and I can feel the warning signs running around my mind. And when I leave this island, I book myself into a soul asylum, 'cause I can feel the warning signs running around my mind. So here I go, I'm still scratching around in the same old hole. My body feels young, but my mind is very old. So what do you say? You can't give me the dreams that are mine anyway.
Good day, good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. You're listening to the Half the World Away Celtic podcast from Hail Hail Media. My name's Kevin O'Neill and I'm based in Mandurah in Western Australia, originally from Coatbrig. And as always, joined all the way over on the other side of the country in Melbourne, Victoria. He's my good friend and still the housewife's favourite, Mr. Patrick Close, originally from Airdrie. Good day, Pat.
G-Day, Kevin. How are we?
G-Day, mate. G-Day. Very good, Patrick. How are you this fine Friday evening?
Living the dream, Kev. Living the dream.
Good. How's your weather in Melbourne town, this weather?
Spring's in the air, Kev.
Is it?
Yeah, it's 18 today, 18 tomorrow, so it's... Yep, the days are getting longer. You can actually see it. I was out playing football with the kids in the back garden last night and the night before.
Very nice.
Until I get too dark and I end up standing in dog shit from a beloved little Jinky. Thanks very much for that, my little puppy dog. So for leaving a little present for me in the back garden. Anyway, lucky I had shoes on. But you never lose those skills, Kev. Never lose those skills, you know.
You never lose them, Pat.
Never lose them.
I lost them many, many years ago and there wasn't many of them.
Yep.
But anyway, that's another story for another day.
This is Aussie rules I'm talking, by the way. I don't play soccer with the kids.
Oh, right, like football as in Aussie
footy.
Rules?
Yeah,
right,
footy.
I'm with you.
So
okay,
anyway.
I've never had those skills at all.
Yeah, it's a great game, Kev. You should get yourself to the park, have a kick about. It's brilliant fun.
Oh, I used to kick some marks with young Kieran up in Geraldton when we had a big back garden. But it's not so easy when you've got a 8 metre by 4 metre swimming pool, Pat, out your back now. It's not easy kicking marks.
Oh, look, that's your diving mark. Perfect location for that, isn't it?
It would be, actually.
Your diving mark, you know. Think you're a specky over... Well, you wouldn't do a specky, I guess, but... It's you're running chest mark, you know. Jeez, there's so many options there, Kev.
True, mate, true. But we'll need to wait for summer to test that out, because it's pissing down over here in WA. It's been miserable the last few days, although it's meant to be nice tomorrow.
Well, as I said, it's spring is certainly in the air, and it's for the southern hemisphere. So all those people that are enjoying the summer over there, it'll be probably a long, hard, cold winter as normal. But now you can smell it. There's sort of blossom in the air over here, Kev. Flowers are all coming out, and it's nice, beautiful.
You're painting a beautiful picture, Pat. Melbourne, the number one again, most livable city in the world, I believe.
Yeah, I saw that headline. Yeah. There you go. So we made a good choice. Martin's not been introduced yet, so. We made a good choice, stranger.
We'll just come on to Martin now. We've got Martin Kelly again in Melbourne, Victoria. Good day, Martin.
Hi, mate. How are you?
Very good, Martin. Very good. So Melbourne, voted number one most livable city in the world yet again.
Yeah, mate. It's sensational, mate. It's sensational over here. And spring is in the air, mate. It's just warming up nicely. It's going to be brilliant.
The one thing I always say to Stevie Fallon's, Big Tim, yourselves with Melbourne, that I like it as a city, very lovely place, but the weather for me just isn't. It's just not. That's the thing that just for me is not the great thing about it. There's so many other good things about it, but the weather's such a big part for me about why I came out here in the first place. And Melbourne weather is just not great.
So, 18 degrees when it's sort of, end of winter isn't good enough for you?
Oh, no.
Interesting.
I'm talking
Kev, you've become a weather snob. You've
I've
become
always
a weather
been a weather. I have. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a weather snob. Pat knows I am. Because even back in Scotland, I used to whinge constantly about the bloody weather.
That's a Scottish thing, Kev.
Constantly.
That's a Scottish thing. That's not a you thing. That's a Scottish thing.
But I must admit, I do. I'm quite pleased with the climate over here. Most of the year round. I hate winter. Winter does annoy me because there's too much bloody rain. Too much of it. But it's still better weather than your good old Melbourne town.
I just got an email from a speaker saying that Hail Media is live on air.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
What do they know that we don't?
I don't know. But that's
Good
just
old
how the email
speaker.
says.
What's the
Jeez.
point in emailing you? They should be emailing other people. We know we're live.
Listen to Hail Media live on Spreaker. Half the world away, number 41, Joe Blow. By Hail Media. Listen live now. All right, mate. This might be good.
Give it a
Oh,
go.
before we go ahead, I should say a big hello to Belfast Boy. I only tuned in for the first time to one of his podcasts the other day. Just been so busy at work, and we've moved office, and things are a bit more difficult than they used to be. So to listen to podcasts and stuff these days, so it's have to be a bit picky and choosy. So, but shouldn't really say this on here, but because I know I'll be listening, but my boss is off on leave for 6 weeks, so it's just a little bit more relaxed, and a bit more cruisy. So busy, but still a bit cruisy. So
I thought you were going to say a bit boozy.
No.
Busy but cruisy. So that's boozy.
Yeah, busy but cruisy. I like it. Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm. So hello to Belfast Boy, because I listened to his podcast today. He records it basically walking on his way to work.
That's quite skillful.
Aye,
that is quite skillful.
That's a good job. I've listened to it as well.
Yeah,
is he a proper bloke? Because blokes wouldn't really usually be able to do that. Concentrate on doing more things than once, multitasking, so to speak.
No, he's pretty good at it. I liked it.
He also to the rock and roll guy. He's good as well.
I've listened to a couple. I think there was the one I remember. I think he played. Did he play "Boys of Summer"? Don Henley song.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it's kind of old rock music. It's not your modern stuff, I guess. But I don't mind it. I know he was getting slagged off on Homeboys one day. I was listening to it, but
aye,
it's the stuff I think he plays is stuff I kind of grew up with. So pretty happy to hear Don Henley.
Homeboys call it Granda Rock. He played. What did he play? It was Dire Straits, I think, and they gave him honours for that.
Well, I'm not. I like Dire Straits when I was a younger lad, but yeah, not a massive fan now. I find it a bit boring, but I've actually started collecting songs from my past for and let my sons hear it. So I've been doing a lovely little collection, some Queen, a bit of Journey, and all that sort of stuff. So yes, it's kind of interesting to hear my kids singing some of these songs, because even the songs that even I wouldn't have listened to when I was a kid, didn't like them very much, Modern Romance, Kev. Remember Modern Romance?
Yes.
Best Days of Our Life, all that sort of stuff. AC/DC,
I remember all that pish.
Bay City Rollers, bit of Dexies. Oh man, there's loads of stuff. Guns N' Roses. I don't know, all that sort of stuff. The Clash. Anyway, it's all good stuff.
Some quality stuff in there, but also some dreadful stuff.
Well, yeah, I could rhyme through a few really pretty horrible ones, but anyway. But no, I'm trying to get them into stuff like that as well. But a bit of Proclaimers and stuff like that. But I do sort of go back to my indie various on my phone, as I call it, which is Primal Scream and all these sort of guys and Oasis.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm trying to teach them all the words to Bohemian Rhapsody, because sadly I do know them, Kev. So,
fair enough.
But anyway, hello to Connor Krajalski. Eamon O'Connor's in.
Eamon O'Connor. Or
Krauski Donsky.
Krauski, that's right. Alistair Jackson.
Krauski Donsky, he was tweeting earlier on, so we haven't heard from Krauski Donsky for a while.
So yes, they're all on the chat room saying hello.
Good.
G'day, boys.
G'day. Thanks for listening.
Let's get another email. Don't tell me it's speaker again. Tell me there's another fucking podcast.
Yeah, we better get on with this. If you do want to interact, go on the old chat room in Spreaker, or you can tweet us at halftheworld88. If you do fancy a little Skype, because we are a man down tonight, we've got Liam's out serenading some young Japanese girl, maybe not, maybe he's doing something else.
Could be a Japanese boy.
Could be. There's a song about that. He's my Japanese boy.
That's right.
I think
maybe he's on his own. He's turning Japanese.
Oh, he could be. So yeah, Liam, he might join us later on. Just depends when he gets into the house. So we'll see. But we're a man down just now, so there's a little bit of room on the Skype airwaves. So if you do fancy calling in, you can Skype us at Skype name is halftheworld88, and you can interact with us that way if you so wish.
Myrtle Beach Boys are online as well, so Grey Boys.
Excellent. Good day, lads. What time is it over there?
Something.
Find it.
Yep.
Maybe they can put it in there. It depends where they are. I can't remember where exactly in the States they are, but it's usually 12 hours behind me, so that'd be 7:39 in the morning, maybe, or maybe even earlier.
Well, ask them. Grey Boys,
just ask them.
Myrtle Beach. What time is it over there?
There?
What time is it? So yeah.
I'm going to go for 7:39 a.m.
I'll go for 8:40 then.
7:40 a.m. I'll go for. But anyway, we'll find out. Right, without further ado, Celtic. That's why we're here. That's what we're here to talk about properly. And we'll kick off with our thoughts on the Malmo game during the week. So first of all, the big question, I'll ask you first, Martin. Did you see the game, caller?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Wonderful. Patrick, did you see the game, caller?
I did.
Right, so we all saw the game, right? So we can all talk at this with authority. Talk about this with authority now. First 10 minutes, lads. Could it have started any better?
No. There you go.
It couldn't, could it? It was unbelievable. What were your thoughts at that stage, Martin? Well, let me ask you this, actually. Thoughts approaching the game with the build-up to it. I think we all probably thought it was going to be a tricky game, but those first 10 minutes and we're 2-0 up, what was going through your mind at that stage?
Well, look, in run-up, it was, and I think I spoke about this a while ago, there's that arrogance of, well, that's it, unless it's a massive name in Europe, then, Uzbekistani team, who are they, we can hump them, sort of thing. So I was worried. I thought Malmo are a decent team in the run up to it. First 10 minutes, it was party time. That's it. Let's start booking the next in the group stage and what can we do. And I thought we just went cocoa, good cocoa banana sort of thing. It was absolutely brilliant. And I don't think it could have. I can't remember a European game that sort of started that well, basically.
Yeah.
Or I suppose I'm thinking of a proper European game. I was actually, this is going back to about 2001, where we played, was it a team for Luxembourg, and Burchell, I think, got a hat-trick.
Oh, you got a hat-trick? Jeunesse Esch.
That's it. No, I was actually at that game that night, and that was just before the 6-2 game, and that was almost a walkover at that point. I think that was 7-1 or something at the end, or 7-0 or something. So, realistically, 2 goals, first 10 minutes, sensational. You're thinking, as I said at that point, it's party time. Even up to half time, 2-0, sensational.
Comfortable, yeah, very comfortable.
Now, the only thing I'll say at the end, and I was listening to the Celtic Underground podcast at this point. See if somebody had offered us, you'll get into the last game, the last game, at this stage, and as long as you don't get beat, you're through.
Yeah.
We would have taken it. Right from the very start.
Absolutely.
I think the hassle is like that. Well, watching the last kick of the game, like at 3-1, it's all right. We'll all have taken that as well. You go over there, it's nothing each. 5 minutes to go. We're looking okay. Going over there. Suddenly at 3-2, a couple of minutes to go. It's squeaky bum time, boys, because they get one in, it's all over. Look, I thought we certainly the first half was good, a little bit more scrappy in the second half, but I thought overall, I thought we did all right. And again, 3-2. It's not a great result because of the whole away goals rule, but we still won, and it could have been a lot worse.
Correct, and I think that's a good point, Martin, about what you were saying. There was on the Celtic Underground if they were saying, would you have taken that? And of course we would. We'd be fools to say no if it was offered. But I think because of the manner the goals were scored and the way they were scored and when they were scored, if that game was, say we went 1-0 up and then they pegged it back to 1 each, and then we went 2-1 up, they pegged it back to 2 each, and it was us that scored the winner with the last kick of the ball, everybody would have been coming out from that game on a high.
Aye.
We'd all been, you'd have still been reflecting on the result, saying it's not ideal, but bloody hell, it's superb. We've got our noses in front.
And also,
whereas just to lose that game, to have the 2-goal advantage and then, losing and it was a bad goal to lose. Especially from the set piece, and again to Joe, hence the name of the show, the Joe Blow, because it certainly was a bit of a blow. It was a bit of a, it was a bugger. It really was a bugger. I mean, when we lost one away goal, I thought it was bad enough, but then 3-1, you're kind of thinking, it's still not great, but it's you've got a bit of a cushion there. You've got a 2-goal cushion. So to lose that goal so late, and there was just no time to do anything about it. I think that's the thing that just it made people think a bit more negatively.
I totally agree. And you think about it, if we turn it around, where if they had been 2-0 up with 10 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. Can you imagine?
I think also, but it was the way the goal, it's that one of, it was such a scrappy goal to lose right at the end. Basically that should have been,
should have been dealt with.
The heat on that, and it should have been battered up should have been over the halfway line sort of thing. And then it was just that sort of almost calamitous goal. So I think that's what's pissed people off. And again, being 2-0 up after 10 minutes and ending up still winning 3-2. And again, I'm saying that we'd have all taken it with, at the start of the game compared to what other things have happened. Yeah. But it's also that two away goals. So, a minute to go, somebody they launch one in and it comes off a dodgy deflection and suddenly we're out. So that's my something that has bothered me? It's all the talk of, and it's been from the press, the most, the biggest money spinning game in our history, blah, blah, blah. Don't get me wrong, the money is really important, but us playing in the group stages is more important than the money we get from it. We're then playing with the big boys, and it pisses me off that so much emphasis by the Scottish media is on the £20 million Euro game, this. Boys, this is what pisses me off. They talk down Scottish football the whole time, right? And when we get a chance to go and play with the big boys, it's all about the money, right? Mm. And I've talked about this before, and I'm on a bit of a rant now with this. They keep talking about Celtic has failed because it has not won a treble when Rangers have not been there. What about turn it on its head? And actually, other teams have been successful because Celtic hasn't been able to win a treble. That's how you can look at it. A positive thing of other teams have won trophies. Let's celebrate those other teams winning trophies. And on this, stop talking about the money. Talking about Celtic are one game away from getting in a group stage and playing with the best teams in Europe. Let's actually. So maybe Scottish football isn't as shite as they want to tell us to be. It is. Mm-hmm. Right.
Fair. I'll get down off your high horse now, Martin. Well done, though. It was a good rant. So, Pat, in terms of your thoughts on it, and again, I'll put the exact same kind of question to you. Going into the game, it's probably, I'm guessing you were the same as the rest of us, that to be 2-0 up after 10 minutes, it's more than you could have hoped for in the game.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, like, it was an early start for us. I mean, it was 4:45 our time, so 2:45 your time.
Yep.
So getting up at there, I'm lying in bed watching it, and you're almost flipping, jumping through the roof when the first goal goes in. It's just a release, I guess, of the build up to it, because you same as every other Celtic fan, you want to be there, you want to be with the big boys.
Mm-hmm.
When the competition starts, and that whole sort of release of I guess emotions, I suppose, when the first goal goes in, thinking you're absolute dancer, because normally that's us on the receiving end. It's normally us doing, doing the opposite. Somebody else sneaking a goal, and just we try to keep things tight at the back and all that stuff. And all of a sudden, the other team goes up the park and scores.
Yeah.
And it was just they were absolutely flying at the time. And
it was a superb goal as well. Let's not underestimate the quality of the goal as well, because it really was just the type of goals you want to see us score.
Yeah, you mean Johansson got a lot of credit for the pass, but I think obviously it was started by Armstrong.
Correct,
the way he cut in and ran at pace. I mean, okay, it was across the defence, but it was that kind of got them out of position and stuff to kind of allow things to happen. So but yeah, I mean, it was well taken. I mean, it was the pass was a first time pass.
Mm-hmm.
Griffiths was, I'm not saying he was lucky, but the defender just played him on side and no more. Another day, an extra yard and he's in the offside position, but no, he took it well. I mean, the keeper came out to try and close him down quick, and he stuck away. I didn't think it was the best contact. I thought it was a bit of a kind of soft one, but I guess when you look in the replay, he's timed it right. He's waited for the keeper to make a decision, make a commitment, and then he's just popped it past him. So happy days, but no, I'll be totally honest with you. In the start of the second half, I could see it. I could just see them coming back into it. And what made me think about it was that there was a couple of times, almost in the first sort of 5 minutes, where Armstrong gave the ball away a few times. So did Beaton.
Yes, yeah.
And I remember lying there lying in bed on the computer watching the game, thinking to myself, we're letting them back into this. We're just letting them back into it, and it wasn't much longer after that they sneaked a goal. You know what I mean? And it was just a few kind of slack passes. The thing I was a bit. I mean, ultimately at the end of it, I'll be honest with you, it's as upset and as angry I've been at the end of a game for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
I was cussing and swearing. That was ruined my day.
Well, it's not like you to swear either, Pat.
Oh.
It's
Were
not,
you
no,
flipping this, flipping that?
I was a little bit stronger than that. Yeah, my kids haven't heard me swear very often, but this was it was more your F. Oh God! Yeah, anyway, I couldn't. I was fuming. I was absolutely fuming. It was just one of those ones you get so close, and you think to yourself, you go away with a 2-goal advantage over there, because I didn't think they were that great. The Marlborough were an okay team, but Burgett's first goal was a cracker. Let's face it. There's no doubt about it. It was a cracker goal.
It was a pity. He get left far too much space though. He had so much time to get his shot away.
Oh, you still got to put it away though.
Can't deny. Oh, no, you can't deny it was a great strike. But it was given far too much space out there.
Shame he couldn't do the same for us when he played with us. But anyway, but their second goal was that was incredibly disappointing. That was. Yeah, I think it was maybe the manner of it that I was more upset, because you get to that point where, in fact, I don't know, was it 93rd or 94th minute? I can't even quite remember now, but but that was just, I guess, more the manner of it, because we've done really well sort of defensively and those sort of things, but it just seemed, I think we got the third goal, it probably came at the right time, because it kind of settled us down a little bit. But the whole thing about the whole fast tempo and that sort of stuff, we had them we had them in the rocks. We absolutely had them in the backs of the wall, and I think we just I don't know what commentary you guys had. The commentary I had was the BT Sport one, and they were, I think Chris Sutton saying, Celtic are doing really well. They're just standing off them, and they're just trying to play their way through it and all that sort of stuff, and they're doing the right thing. Yes and no. I mean, I could hear what you're saying, but the fact was that the fast tempo and the basically putting pressure on them, stuff like that, was working. So I didn't really see any need to take your foot off the pedal, because one more, like if you then take a third off them when it's 3-0, it's just like there's almost no coming back from it.
Yeah.
But then to sort of let them back. I mean, the goal came early second half. So, but after that, I was pretty disappointed. Apart from the goal, obviously, that Griffith scored, I thought we could have done better. I just think we gave them. I'm not sure it was too much respect, but we just gave them too much of an opportunity to get back in it. And when you look at the stats of it, I think they had as many shots on target as we did in the end of it. I think Dyer came out and said the only 2 shots at goal, didn't he? I remember Craig Gordon making a cracking save as well. So
he did, and they had a few shots from distance that didn't trouble at all. I think they probably did count in the statistics, but I mean, we certainly weren't getting battered or anything. There was no stage in that game that your heart was in your mouth in terms of this team's running all over the top of us. It was beIN Sports I was watching it on, so I think it was Guy Mowbray was the commentator, and he said something in the first half, and he was spot on. I think he said something along the lines of Celtic's biggest threat tonight is themselves.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because as you said, and Martin, you mentioned it as well, there was a few headers that were misplaced. I think Scott Brown in the first half had a header. He tried to head it backwards, and it set up an attack for them. So they had a shot at goal from it. There was another couple of misplaced kind of headers and passes that just set them up. And so, I mean, it wasn't as if they were really cutting us open with fantastic flowing football and had us turning round in circles and turning us inside out. It was we were setting them up on chances. I mean, their goal 5 minutes into the second half or whenever it was, that was a direct result of we gave the ball away. I think it was another bad header initially from again. I think it was Brown again, actually.
Brown, I'm pretty sure it was.
And then I think somebody slipped in their arse out on the touchline, gave them time to cross the ball in. And then, Berget in tons of space at the back post, unfortunately. And you cannot deny, as you said, it was a great strike by the guy. And but again, that gave them a bit of confidence that we shouldn't have really given them any chances at all. I was honestly surprised at that stage because I thought they had the momentum at that stage. We were on a bit of a downer, and I was very surprised when we went 3-1 up. And to be fair to wee Griffiths, that header he scored was absolutely superb. He had a hell of a lot to do for a wee guy to get up against a centre half and throw himself at that. He did remarkably well to get that goal. And when it was 3 up, I thought, right, good, the balance is kind of restored again. But it was as if we were still playing on our nerves a bit, and we were a bit too cautious at times. And again, we still kept making silly little mistakes here and there. And again, for the final goal, I think in the lead up to it, Effie did make a mistake at the back. I think we were all probably dreading when we saw Lustig being injured, and you had a funny feeling that Effie was going to be coming on, and then you see him getting stripped. And he was not too clever at all, Effie, in the lead up to that goal. But again, we should be able to defend corners like that. We usually can defend them very well, but it was just really, really slack. And yeah, I must admit, I was pissed off. It was usually for a game like that. Now I can have about another hour kip before I have to get up for work, but I was trying to close the eyes, but I was just so pissed off. I watch it in my bed when I set the alarm like that. I watch it on the iPhones. beIN Sports got an iPhone app, so I just watch it on there. So just plug the headphones in. But it's that kind of way, of course. Michelle's lying next to me, and you're trying not to get too animated to wake her up. But Christ Almighty, it was shocking to lose a goal right at the death. And I was pissed off for that.
It was just a real downer. I think it was one of those scenarios where I mean, 3-1, taking 3-1 away from home probably isn't the absolute, the best result either. You want to try and keep a clean sheet, but just the 2-goal buffer makes a massive difference. Essentially a 1-goal win over there for them, and it's all different. And correct. Even if we score a goal, I mean, you're still it's not beyond them, if you know what I mean, to to get a couple of goals in the game, which is all they really need. So it's going to take a huge effort over there. And I guess it's one of those things that even people in the chat room are mentioning is, what do they do? Do they go and play the normal game, or do they say no, we'll hold back and do what they did in Karabag and just try and hit them on the break? Because I don't know. I mean, it depends whether Griffiths has got that in him to be that real lone striker. I mean, I guess he is at the moment, but he's got the midfield that pushes up to support him. I just don't think Chifchi's good enough at the moment. He's just not fit enough.
Interesting you mention that, because I'd quite like to, and I know it's not fair on the guy because obviously he's been suspended for a lot, so he's not had a lot of game time. The game time he has had has been some of these qualifiers, and he only came on and played a bit part the other night. But I'll tell you something, see Chifchi, all I could see him offering us when he came on the other night was a yellow card or worse. I could not see the guy causing any real problems at all. He really does. He needs a goal to kind of settle him, I think, because he's still playing with that headless chicken, kind of running about a bit too aggressively, putting himself about, and yeah, he's kind of frustrating me, to be honest, just now. And he didn't even offer himself as that kind of lone forward when he replaced Griffiths either. I remember when we'd played Dundee United in the past, and Chifchi was the kind of guy that he caused our defence, and let's not forget we're talking about Van Dijk and Denier here. He would cause our defenders some problems quite a bit, and they're the type of players that it does attract your eye as an opponent. You look at the other team and you say that he does cause us problems every time we play him. So when we'd signed Chifchi, I thought he could do well for us, but okay, he's not had a lot of time to prove himself for various reasons, mostly because he's been bloody suspended. But I've yet to see something in him in the hoops that's encouraging. I was disappointed when he came on the other night, and I think going into this away game now, I can honestly see us scoring one goal if we have to over there. I would doubt we would be able to score more than that, just because of the system we play. I'm not so worried as a lot of people seem to be about we need two strikers kind of idea. I don't mind the idea of playing with one guy up front, but the whole point of playing with one guy up front is we are meant to have three supporting, attacking, forward-thinking midfielders that get up and support the attack, or whether it's two other attacking midfielders that are playing in front of the other three, shouldn't matter. But so this whole we need to be playing with two strikers, like a 4-4-2 formation. I'm not so hung up on that as I used to be, but it's so important that we get those supporting midfielders, likes of your Johanssons or likes of Armstrong, up in support as soon as possible when we're hitting on the break. I wouldn't be surprised if we do play a similar game to the Karabag away game, where we do try to keep things as tight as possible and try to hit in the break. But as Celtic fans, it just doesn't feel that naturally the right attitude to go into in any game. You're hoping that we can control the game at our pace, that we won't be fazed by playing in the away stadium with the away fans trying to make life difficult for us.
No, I mean, there's no way our team should feel intimidated in any way, shape or form over there. It's in the climates are going to be okay. The park and stuff like you'd think is going to be okay. It's not, there's nothing really. The team that we played against the other night, okay, I think is it one or two guys out suspended. I think their main striker was a bit more experienced than the guy that played for West Brom, and the guy who knew Scott Allen and all that sort of crap. He, whose name completely slips my mind, but there was nothing really. That sort of stood out from them that says that we can. Or you're saying you can't see us scoring more than one goal. Well, I think I could. I didn't think they were a world-beating team. I think they were
definitely not.
They were okay going forward. They were not brilliant. In defence, I mean, the guy is Arneson. He played for Aberdeen. I mean, he's a kind of main guy in the central defence. I mean, really. I mean that's why I know like Martin said earlier, and all like oh they were they thought they'd be a good team and stuff. I couldn't see there was nothing in the team that I could see even like there's no big name players, there's no players that you know from international. I'm not saying that they're not good players and stuff like that, but I didn't see what we did anything to fear playing against them.
Remember they were missing arguably their best player in Rosenborg, who was suspended as well. So he's done hard with Sweden and stuff like that, and he'll be. I'd imagine he'll be back for their home leg. So
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like there was nothing in the home leg. There was nothing to fear going in against them because there were a couple of men down. They weren't the strongest team in the world. We were at home with the big crowd behind us, and it was the rain came down and stuff like that. But in terms of the sort of environment we're playing in, it was we're on our own home patch. My ultimate sort of thought in the whole thing is we blew it. It wasn't a case of they were brilliant. I think we just blew it. We just utterly blew it. We whether it was pressure. I mean, we got a couple of injuries. Obviously, Armstrong went off as well. Lustig going off, and whether that sort of upset things a bit, I don't know. Whether it was just a case of they got complacent, they got 2 goals ahead, and just went, this is a cruise, this is easy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether it was just mind games or whatever, but I mean, we obviously get a big game ahead of us, and I don't think anyone's suspended for it. Obviously, Lustig went down, but Alistair Jacks actually posted in the chat room saying that
he's got a chance.
Ronnie reckons he's got a chance to be fit, so I'd be surprised. I mean, he looked in a lot of pain and a lot of trouble, but that might just be more of mind games and playing tricks on them. Whether he does, because you think of who's going to come in and replace him. It's you're either talking.
Well, that's a good point actually, and I think it's one that was raised in the chat room earlier. There, who would you be playing instead of him? Would it be? Because let's not forget we've got Darnell Fisher. Effie's probably get the most experience out of the team, but we all know that Effie can be a bomb scare, and he proved it the other night. I think Effie's the type of guy that's got to start a game. You can't just throw him into a game and expect him to pick up the pace. But he's played that position before, and he's done okay, but he just never fills us with confidence when he's playing when he's playing, full stop. Effie Ambrose Ballon d'Or. But we've also got Janko now, of course, who can play as a right back, but he's certainly more attack minded. But who would you think? I mean, let's make the assumption that he maybe doesn't make it, Lustig. I think if he is fit, then there's no doubt for me he'd be the guy to play. I must admit though, I thought out of our players at the start, I thought Lustig looked the most uncomfortable. He's usually kind of bombing forward, and I'm not saying he wasn't doing that. He did do that a bit, but I thought he looked a little bit nervy. But I don't know, is that because he was maybe carrying a bit of a niggly thing before the game even kicked off? But yeah, if Lustig can't start, Martin, who would you play at right back if you're Ronnie Dyler for this match?
I'm not sure, mate. To be honest, I've not seen enough of the other games this season to sort of make a call on that. One thing I would say is that Lithgow was just all over the place, didn't he? He just seemed to be, after Griffiths went off, he just seemed to be running all over the place, but not really doing that much. Mm-hmm. That would be probably my comment on him. But yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I've not seen enough games to know who would slot in there well.
That's a fair comment. Pat, what about yourself? If you're Ronnie Dyler and Lustig can't make the game next week, who would you be throwing in?
Well, I think looking at recent games, I think you'd probably fancy Janko, because that's how he's played, when Lustig's not been there. So he's given him a few games under his belt and stuff like that. So tough one. I just reckon, I don't know. Against that one of flipping a coin, okay, Effie's got the more experience there, but he's not a natural right back. Don't care what anybody says. So I reckon they take a punt on Janko and just but you have to be like maybe Saturday when the game tomorrow. I guess we'll find out what his thoughts are, because you like to think that's whoever plays tomorrow is the guy that'll be rolling out on the right back for the next game. So
I hope Lustig is okay, but I wouldn't want to take any chances on him. If he's not 100%, then I wouldn't be playing him, and I would not be surprised though if Ronnie sticks with Effie, even although it probably wouldn't be my choice. But
Look,
just again, because of his experience and stuff like that, he's been there, he's done it.
He's more defensive out of the two of them. Put it that way.
He is.
So it depends what sort of game.
Depends
what sort of game you're going to play. If you're going to try and go for them and attack them, then yeah, you'd probably want Yanko in there. But if you're going to be a bit more cautious, which is probably the way to play it. If you're playing away from home, probably you'd say be a bit more cautious. So probably Effie.
Yeah.
Just from that regard, it's a hard one. It's a hard one. But look that one position you'd like to think isn't going to impact the game. As long as you get somebody who's going to play tight and play and just do the simple things, maybe it shouldn't matter which one you're going to play. But for me, it's going to be winning midfield. I mean, if we can just get in top midfield again, I didn't think the midfield was spectacular. I thought we had the better of them, but I said, well, ultimately we blew it. But I think I still think Brown and Beaton and whether you play hopefully Armstrong. They had the making of them. We should be better than them in midfield. And if we're pushing forward, and that's how we're going to sneak that goal. It doesn't necessarily have to be Griffiths, but if we're going to sneak the goal from somewhere in the midfield, or even from set pieces and stuff, which again they seem to struggle with, that's where the game's going to be won. We just need a defence that's going to keep tight. Do the simple things. Don't try and bring the ball out and play it out of defence, stuff like that. Just whenever you get a free man, just play it quick and just go back to a normal game. Play the high tempo stuff, close them down quickly. I don't see it again. For me, it was like, I don't know why they stopped doing it the other night. Whether it was a fitness thing, whether it was a nerves thing, whether it was a tactical thing. But I just thought we could have been more sort of in their face a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think we did rattle them, especially. I mean, the left back. Obviously, I was kind of laughing. I don't know if you guys had the same thought, but their left back, it was just like Izagiri, a Peruvian Izagiri. That's what it felt like to me. Don't you think so?
Bruni was staring him down a few times, wasn't he?
Jeez.
There was a couple of times Bruni was just giving him the evil eye.
Yeah, I bet he was quaking in his boots just by Scott Brown staring at me. Aye, Jesus.
He would have been. He would have been.
Why would you be scared that somebody's staring at you? What's he going to do? He's only put a knife and stab
mental.
So what's he going to do? It's like you're in a football park. What else can you do? If Brown does something stupid, he's going to get sent off.
Someone. Brown.
Listen, you saw the look in the boy's face. He was shitting himself.
No, he wasn't. Shut up. Why not do your talking on the park?
Disagree on that. I thought he shot himself and Bruni gave him the stare. The commentator even said, bloody hell, look at that scary stare.
Why would you be scared? The guy's just staring at you. It's not as if it's not as if he's got you on the ground laying into you and stuff like that. And he couldn't do that anyway. Anyway, that's another story. I don't get that whole thing. It's the one thing about Scott Brown that still bugs me even to today. People say he's matured and stuff like that, and he has to a certain extent, but all that stuff about staring people out and squaring up to people, like
brilliant. It's brilliant.
If you're a captain, lead by example. Stop doing that stupid stuff. Play the game.
If you're a captain, lead by example. Stare people out.
Right.
Aye, stare at people. Aye. That's going to make a huge difference.
Well, it's better than shouting and swearing at them and stuff like that. It's just give them the evil eye, give them the look, don't say anything, just, you know what I mean? It's just sends a message. Sends a message
that he's good at staring. Aye. You're talking pish. Anyway, move on.
Right, let's move on.
Right, before we move off Malmo, I want your predictions and scoreline predictions for next week, Martin.
2-1 to us.
Okay, that'll send us through beautifully. You got any scorers for us?
Griffiths, both of them.
Fair enough. Pat?
I'll go for a draw. I think
that'll be enough as well. Score draw or no score draw?
Yeah, it'll be one each, I reckon. Okay. So right, we'll score first, and then we'll just sort of sit back a little bit, and they'll sneak a goal near the end. Come from midfield somewhere. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Beaton, not sure. Maybe Armstrong. Yeah, we'll go for Armstrong. Go for Armstrong.
A one each?
One each.
I reckon the one each could be a good call, mate. 0-0 or 1-1. I can't pick between the two. It'll be it is going to be a tough game. As I said, if we need to score over there, I think we could, but I would really see us struggling to score more than one for some reason. But it's just a pity that we've left ourselves a bit to do, but we can't lose sight of the fact that we have got our noses in front. We are leading the tie, so 0-0 does the job. If that team can't score, we're through. It's as simple as that.
I'll tell you,
But,
see if it's nothing each and it's in like the 85th minute and stuff like that, I will be absolutely eating myself. It's going to be going to be bloody horrible.
Yeah, it would. Myrtle Beach, they don't fancy the 0-0 at all. They're going for a 1-1.
They're going for the draw. Yep. John McQuay reckons the guy got the last laugh when Bruni headed the ball to his teammate.
Well, yeah, that is true. That is true, but I still like a good Bruni stare.
Connor's saying that Johan claims that Janko isn't the best player for a defensive Champions League game.
I think we'd all agree. From what we've seen of Janko, I think we'd all agree with that. He certainly seems, his strength seems to be going forward and beating players and going by players, so I wouldn't disagree with that at all.
It depends on what sort of game he's going to play. If he wants to play an attack-minded game and play on push so-called natural game,
yeah.
But then again, if you want to play the European, if you have learned a lesson from sort of years gone by, then that's when you play a bit more cautious and stuff like that and just try and sneak that goal. But I recommend Griffiths has certainly got the makings of these central defence. I mean, he certainly caused them enough trouble. So you know what I mean. So I reckon that there's goals in our team. What we don't know is whether this guy, this Rosenborg guy, coming back for them, how much of an impact he's going to have in their team. I think he's more your sort of holding the ball up kind of player, which would probably suited them more in the away leg. At home, it depends. I don't know whether what he did the other night is their natural game or whether they're an attack-minded team. It's going to be a difficult one. I mean, obviously, Ronnie and his team will have done their homework, so they'll kind of know what to expect. So. But do you know what sort of what the stadium's like? You know, what is it? I presume it's a grass
shit house. No, I've got no clue at all. No clue.
It's all made out of pine wood and it's a sauna.
Would that not be Norwegian?
No.
I haven't a clue what the stadium's like, to be honest. I don't know capacity or anything. Maybe somebody on the chat room can...
I'm just Googling it now while we're talking.
I have a shifty, but I mean, there will, it's, you know, that's... You've maybe seen the videos of their fans marching on Celtic Park from Glasgow. There was about 1,000 of them or something, and they all went up. So they'll make a bit of noise, that's for sure, and they'll make it as intimidating as they can. It's just how our players handle that. And let's not forget, it's not often that we go to any away ground domestically and you're in the minority. There's only a few, so. It will be. It's always a different experience for our players, but we've coped with it in the past. So you would hope that we don't get intimidated by that. As long as we play our game, we should have enough to be able to see them off. As long as we can play to the way that we know we can play, and we don't lose concentration and make silly mistakes. Because again, we caused our own mistakes. Or because we caused their chances against us the majority of the times, and we need to snuff that out completely. Snuff it out, even.
Snuff it out, okay.
So we could snuff it out.
Well, look, time will tell, but essentially we want to be in the draw next Thursday, so
we do.
It'll be a massive relief if we do. I mean, obviously, the money's a good thing, but for us overseas, it's just the prestige of it. I mean, you can walk around with your hoops on and people know who you are because you've been on the telly and stuff. So it's.
So I was going to say, from what I can see quickly on Wikipedia, 21,000 all seated for international game stadium. So that's what it looks like quickly with me checking it out. So not a massive ground, but all right.
Well, they said on the BT Sport coverage there's 1,000 Celtic fans going over for that game, so 1,000 out of 21,000 is not a bad ratio. We'll be making as much noise as they guys are, I reckon.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt of that. But anyway, fingers crossed. None of us, including the guys in the chat room, don't seem to think we're going out though. We all seem pretty confident that we're going to be in the draw for the Champions League.
Oh, I'm pretty worried. So, I've got to say, I'm pretty worried.
Even though you're predicting one each.
Yeah, that's more heart than head, I reckon.
Well, tell us what your head's telling you then.
Oh, I don't reckon we'll make it. I
reckon for fuck's sake,
I reckon we'll have a chance. No, that's my heart and head. I hope we do it. Yeah. I've got faith that they can nick a goal over there, but I reckon we've just blown a really big chance, and I think if they do go out, they'll be absolutely kicking themselves at the they didn't sort of take the opportunity to smack them, because 2-0 up and their backs are against the wall. So anyway, we'll see how we go. But what about I guess there's, just quickly before we move on to other stuff, but the fallout, I guess, of all the stuff going on was this so-called comment, the Celtic are pigs and all that sort of thing. I don't know if you read any of that sort of crap, but I mean, they are certainly, I mean, I think it might go in their favour. That team are right up themselves. They think they are world beaters, just by the result, just that second goal, they think they're world beaters.
Point.
So, which I hope kind of, when it goes into this, the next leg, that they're a little bit complacent, because and that goes from their coach and everything. He was just he was doing my head in, all the comments he was coming out with. It's just keep your mouth shut. You just know that Ronnie was just dying to say stuff, but I think he held back a fair bit.
Which is the right thing to do. You don't want to come out with that kind of nonsense at all. That was something they kept going on about on beIN Sports. The commentators, they couldn't believe how that guy had come out and said that Red Bull were a far better team than Celtic and all this. He said, it was the whole stuff. That's what motivates the team you're playing against. You don't ever come out. If anything, you say, even if you don't believe it, you say they're better than they actually are, blah, blah, blah. You never come out and say they're rubbish, or some other teams are better, or you're a far better team. You're just setting yourself up for failure. They must have mentioned it about 4, 5, 6 times during the course of the match. But you're right, the guy, that's obviously, he's asked a question, he comes out with an answer, but you don't set yourself up like that when you haven't played the game. It's just ammunition. It just gives us ammunition, and I hope we do go into that game, because I think you're spot on, Pat. Their manager seems quite arrogant. Their players, the way they're kind of talking, they'll have their tails right up, getting into that game thinking they're through. Actually, even although they're still a goal behind in the tie, they're going to be confident, but hopefully they're a bit overconfident and we can show them the way. Because I don't think apart from that 10, 15 minutes of that first half, we never hit the heights again in that game. But we've played well in spells in the Premier League. We just need to get that level of consistency. And if we play to our capabilities, I think we'll be too good for that mob. Home or away.
Quick comment from Connor then, and it's fair call. He says, I'll always have that wee bit of respect for Malmo as they helped in the Huns' demise.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, fair dues. Yeah, fair dues. Yeah, I like Malmo. Not a bad team. I do remember them from the European Cup final of 1980? 79? When did Notts Forest win it?
79 and 80, I think.
79, I think
79,
it was.
Yeah, I think
Malmo were in the final with them, yeah. I think
Trevor
it was.
Trevor Francis, back post. Who crossed the ball?
Martin O'Neill, was it?
No. Next.
John Robertson.
Well done.
There you
John
go.
Robertson on the wings. Yep, I remember it very well. I was a young lad at the time, and I was one of these football fans. I loved wearing football strips when I was a kid, and that was one of those. Somebody gave me a Notts Forest top after that, so that was my pride and joy.
You were running about Airdrie with a Notts Forest top on.
You would be amazed the strips that I had. I had Arsenal, I had Tottenham, I had West Ham. I had Liverpool at one stage. That was a fake though, but it didn't matter. Who else? I had Wales. I had a Wales top.
What?
Why? I have no idea. I don't know. It just looked cool. It was the one you remember they used to do. Actually, who other teams had them? Dundee had it as well. There was it was like a red top, and then you had this. It was like a green and yellow kind of stripe that came. It kind of started at the shoulders and bent round and dropped straight down. I don't know if you remember it, but there's a couple of teams that similar. Wales did like a red. It was a red top, and the Welsh it had a green and yellow sort of stripe that started kind of at the shoulder area, and then sort of curved and then went straight down. Oh, jeez, I'll need to find a picture of it. Anyway, Dundee used to have a red, white, and blue one, the same. So basically, it's like a dark blue and then it had a red and white stripe going down the bottom. Anyway, the Wales top. And Airdrie. And
I remember the style you're talking about. I do remember the style. And Coventry City as well, Pat.
Coventry, yes.
Similar style.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's probably a better
one
example.
You're talking about, mate. I know the one you're talking about.
My brother
my
brother had a Leeds top. I never liked Leeds. And he had a Man City top. I never really liked Man City either.
Leeds.
Who else? Well, tell me what strips did you have when you were a kid, apart from Celtic? Any other ones?
I was always just Celtic, Pat. It was all just Celtic and Ireland.
Scotland,
Awfully Gaelic football top, because that was green, white and gold. It still is. What else? No, that was it. Ireland tops, Celtic tops.
No, it's Scotland. I remember one of my favourites actually was the red. Remember Scotland, the red Scotland top. It was around sort of Ken Dalglish kind of era. Yeah, it was a pretty cool top.
That was a Liverpool top.
No, it was a red. Scotland, a red away top. Absolutely. Don't know what age it was right enough, but no, I loved my football tops when I was a kid. So one of those few little luxuries we had when we had money. That's what my mother would buy me from my birthdays and stuff. So. But who else? Aston Villa. I had an Aston Villa top as well. There you go. I think I'm running out of other tops now. That's when they win the European Cup. I was one of these. I followed the team. I liked the teams that were successful at the time. So Notts Forest win the European Cup, so therefore I was a Notts Forest fan. Tottenham win the FA Cup. Ricky Villa, Ozardilis. I was a Tottenham fan at that point. Alan Sunderland for the FA Cup for Arsenal.
Ricky House.
Aye,
Ricky
yes,
Villa.
very good. Yeah, very good. Bumtish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Trevor Brooking for West Ham when they were, I think, in the second division at the time. So I ended up with a West Ham top. So there you go.
It's all good. Right, I don't know how we got into that. How did we get into that? We'll move off it anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
Now listen, we were going to talk about this at the start, but we moved straight into Malmo. But guys, you had a big event since we were last on here, and it was a fundraiser for the Kenny family, who are good friends of you guys, and you were doing there was quite a lot of sponsored stuff on it. Pint on Punt, wasn't there? And there was quite a lot of support from other Celtic supporters clubs around Australia as well, who were doing sponsored head shaves and things like that. Do you want to give us a wee update as to how that went, guys?
Do you want to do it, Martin, or do you want me?
I'll probably do at the start, and then Pat, you can come in there. Look, it was just absolutely tremendous. It's the only way I can describe it. The support from around the country and around the world has been unbelievable, and it just reinforced everything that we talked about, the Celtic family worldwide. We went into it, and Pat, I think it's fair enough. I think you'll back me up in this, that our sort of goal, we had set ourselves a bit of a goal for the entire year to raise 10 grand. I must admit, I think, Pat, I'm maybe talking for you on your behalf as well, but we thought that was going to be a massive struggle, and we'd hoped that maybe on the night we could raise 7. I think that's fair enough, Pat?
I think by the end of it, yeah, I think we well, certainly my thoughts. If we got 7 or 8 grand, we'd be doing really well. So we had donations from everywhere, and it was sensational. And even on the night, we had people coming in giving us stuff, and it was brilliant. And look, it was a very strange night, because it was a night that none of us actually. The reason for us being there was absolutely. It wasn't the best, or absolutely terrible, to be honest. But realistically, it was, for what it was. It was a good night, and everything. The support from around the country and around the world was just absolutely, amazing. It took your breath away on that. Yeah, Pat, do you want to add anything else to it? No, I guess just to emphasise, like we had support from almost all the supporters clubs in Australia. So Martin piked out from getting his head shaved because he was getting job interviews and stuff. So anyway, that's another story for another day. And so there was three or four of us on the night. Clinton McCrohan, if he tunes in to listen to us a bit later, but I think he's in New Zealand at the moment. So he just wanted a free haircut, so he decided he was going to get his head shaved as well. But he didn't get any sponsor money. He just decided he wanted a free haircut. So yeah, Sean Fitzgerald, myself got our heads shaved. There's another chap called Mark Burns from Belfast, from Northern Ireland, and he's a hairy man. So his head is the only thing he doesn't have hair on, so his head's kind of shaved anyway. But he's got a big bushy beard, and they get that shaved off. And I think, from what I recall, his wife had never seen him without a beard.
Yeah. That was it.
And I think I think it was 21 years from what I remember.
Are they still together?
Well, he's actually a handsome-looking man without that beard. He's a scary as fuck-looking person with the beard. Man, when he took the beard
Mark's
off.
a lovely guy. I remember meeting Mark on the Gold Coast, and he's a lovely as well before in Pint on Punt when we were there for a game. Lovely guy.
Yep, scary as fuck. But anyway, that's looks can be deceiving, I suppose. Yeah, so I mean, everything with a comedian, a Melbourne comedian guy called Danny McGinley, who was he was MC for the night. He was spectacular. We had auctions and all that sort of stuff going. Pint on Punt were great. They donated a barrel of beer, so we raised about $800 just from the barrel of beer. I think they get $840, $150 from that. We had an auction, so essentially we had to decide what we thought the main prize would be, and we sort of counted back, what we thought. A guy turned up, a guy who Brian Kenny. So Brian is the husband of Andrina, who's the lady who's not well. He a guy apparently used to work with him turned up, apparently a Rangers fan as well. Turned up with a big box full of Celtic gear, Celtic Nike gear. I mean, I'm talking a full box of it. That's I think still sitting in Martin's house then at the moment.
Right.
And basically turned up and said, "Here, this is a donation. Just you can do what you want with it. Here, if you can auction some of it, would be really good." So we auctioned. We get some like $300 and something. We basically picked one of everything that was in the box. And somebody they got $300, $350 for that. There's a guy who lives near me, Big Noel Hughes. He's from Ayrshire originally. I think from Irvine or Saltcoats, can't quite remember now. But he and his son had a signed and framed Melbourne Victory shirt, and they donated that, and that got a couple $100 on the night as well.
Good.
What was the third auction, Mark? I can't remember. It was
the registration plate.
Not the main one. Yeah, that was the main one. But it was
registration plate.
Sorry, it was a signed.
John,
it's a signed Celtic shirt. So a signed Celtic shirt went for about $300-400 as well.
600.
Was it 600? Yeah.
600.
But the icing on the cake was Paul McGrotty up in Queensland. He used to live in Melbourne, and they moved up to I think up to the Gold Coast sort of area, up to Queensland anyway. And he had a Victorian number plate which was CE1LTIC, so bright green and white, so obviously looks like Celtic. And that went for almost $4,000.
Brilliant.
Now, Kev, I'll give you a bit of background on that. We were worried it wouldn't go for enough, so we'd agreed that the club would buy it and could re-auction it if it didn't.
Right, okay, yeah.
I think if it didn't go for more than $350, then the club would sort of step in, and the second bid of $500 sort of blew that out of the water.
Brilliant.
Yep. So there were about 4 or 5 people obviously desperate for it. So Owen McGarry, I think it was, I can't remember his surname, but Owen lives down my way as well. I should take a picture of Martin to see what this. I saw it the other day.
The van.
You should see the van. Oh, Jesus Christ. Seriously.
Describe it for us, Pat.
We'll put it this way. The Celtic number plate that he bought is worth more than what the van is. That's all I'll say. See, he actually had a fake Celtic number plate. You can buy these in the Celtic shop. You've probably seen them. I think it's like C3LT1C, something like that. He had a fake one of them on that van for years. I just remember it's like it's actually a green and white van. But it's not pretty. It's not a pretty van, mate. So anyway, so all these things going on.
You reckon the number plate's more expensive than worth more than his van?
I'm absolutely no shadow of any doubt that number plate is worth more than what the van is. Not in the slightest. So anyway, but he really wanted it. He's a nice guy, Owen. He's a pretty quiet fella, but he comes along, joins us whenever he can. So fair dues to him. Put his money where his mouth was, and he got the plate. He's proud as punch, so that's another number plate floating around in my local area, along with mine. So pretty happy with that.
What's yours?
I'm not going to say. It's a Celtic number plate.
For fuck's sake, just tell us.
Hey, what's the difference? Ask Martin. Martin's got one as well. Yeah, ask him.
Right.
Well, what are they?
I've got Jinky. And it's brilliant. Delighted with it. It's So I've got no issue. I don't need to keep mine a secret.
Right, Pat, what's yours?
Celt one.
Good. I'm glad. I feel an odd man out here now. I've not got my bloody Celtic number plate.
Get your finger at your arse and just do it. Anyway,
she was asking me last year if I wanted to know, because they're not just to put in I don't know what it's like in Victoria, but I certainly know what it's like back home. But if anybody back home's thinking, Christ, these guys must be minted. I know in WA, to get anything on a number plate you want, the maximum you'll pay is $250, which is effectively 125 quid right now. Probably less than that. It's about £100, £100, sorry. But
Well, I think
over here as well, you don't.
10 years ago I spent $300 from memory.
Yeah. I think I spent about 300 10 years ago. Yeah.
So each state over here, they've got their own registrations systems and stuff like that. So, but yeah, in WA, you can literally get, as long as it's not been taken, you don't have to do like Celtic and put a 1 in instead of an I, or a 3 in instead of an E. You can just get, can I have Celtic please, or Celtic space FC, and you'll get it as long as it's not been taken. You've to get 9 characters or something like that. But all the good ones like that are taken, unfortunately. Yeah. But Shell was saying to me last year for my birthday, I think, and I said, no. But I feel like an odd man out. Maybe I'll just need to get one.
No, there's a few guys in our club. Even Brian Kane, I think he's got Celt 7 or Celt 9, I think it was.
Something like that.
Sean had Boys, BHOIS. I'm not sure.
Yep.
He gave it to Mark from memory. I sold it to Mark.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's a few of the guys in the club. Got Celtic number plates over here, so yeah, it's pretty good. It's the sort of thing you can't do in Scotland. That's why it makes it kind of nice.
Well, yeah, that's it, exactly. It's lovely to know that you can come back to your car and the windows haven't been panned in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
However, what the big thing, Kev, is there's no hiding. So when we go and see the amount of texts we get, I saw you in the shopping centre, and you're like, I didn't know I was there or something. So, aye.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's all good, all good. A great success as well.
It was. So the kind of the last figure we heard, it was just a bit over $25,000 is what we raised in total. Now, considering we set a target of around $10,000, you can probably gather that we were amazed from the support we had. And this goes from Jim Relly and the guys up in Perth to all the guys in Brisbane to all your mates over in Western Australia and the Perth CSC and you guys as well. So now the good thing was that the big prize that we had, which was donated by a company called Emerald Travel, they donated a return flight to Ireland or the UK, and that was won by one of your guys, Kev.
It was Andy Gordon, who's president of the Perth CSC. So yeah. So Andy and his partner Eva, they're going to be going across to Scotland, so they're well chuffed with that.
Yep, absolutely. So the draw, we actually, it was recorded and everything. Everyone wanted to make sure that it was all above board, and there was this kind of big thing of, he pulled the thing out and he went, and it's Andy Gordon, and the place just went silent. Everyone's going, who's you're waiting for a cheer from the back corner, and I was like, oh, he's for Perth, and the guys went, he's what? He's for Perth. Oh, right, let's move on then.
That's the great thing as to how like everybody from around the country had kind of banded together as well, and went in for the raffles and stuff like that. So it was great. It was great. It was great to see it in a worthy cause like that for, again, huge members of the Celtic family over here getting supported. And I know you guys put a lot of work into organising it and stuff like that as well, guys. So hats off to you boys, because I know it was quite emotional for you as well.
Oh, it was. I mean, Brian's been a good friend of ours for a long time, and we are in touch with him. I mean, Angina's taken a bit of a turn for the worse, so she was in hospital, and then she got out, and then they were hoping she was going to improve and get a bit stronger, but she was off chemo and hoping to build up her strength, but she's not too good at the moment. She's back home at the moment, which is good, with her family and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just one of those ones where you just have to manage it. Whether hopefully she pulls through. But, the signs aren't great at the moment, but her sisters have came over they live overseas, so they've come over to see her. So the money that basically we raised was hopefully going to be for a holiday for the family and all that sort of stuff, but now it's a case of it's just helping the family get through this time, because they can't work. Brian can't work, so obviously they have to put food on the table for the kids and all this sort of thing and pay the bills. So that's going to see them through for a little while, but it's a shit situation to be in. But look. Yeah, we all pull together, and it's this is just a message for any sort of Celtic fans out there, and like if something similar happens, just do what we did. You'd be amazed at the support people will give. It was astounding. It was overwhelming at some stages of some of the things. We were still getting donations while the event was going on. Like I get the emails from PayPal, and they were coming in, and I was like, Jesus, someone's just donated like $300 on PayPal. They're not here. They've just donated. It was amazing, utterly amazing. So anyway, we won't dwell on it. So
that's what the Celtic family's all about, though, guys, as we all know. But I guess when it's something like that you're so closely involved in, it really hits home even harder how big the Celtic family is and how caring the Celtic family is.
Well, look, I've heard this on a couple of occasions of people questioning, this whole Celtic family thing is just crap and it doesn't exist and all that sort of stuff. Take it from people over here. Like, you would be amazed just the amount of support that you get over here, and maybe it gets, when you're away from home, you become a bit stronger, the bond becomes a bit stronger and stuff, but the Celtic family is alive and well across the world.
Is.
So please do not underestimate the draw that this club in Scotland actually has on people. It's astounding. So be under no illusions, folks.
Absolutely. No, I think we'd all agree with that. I mean, things like here you boys sitting over there in Melbourne, I'm here in WA, and we just do this out of the love for the club first and foremost as well. But we do it for a bit of a laugh, as does quite a few others on the Hail Media Network and Spreaker and other podcasters out there as well. We do it for the love of the club more than anything. We love talking about Celtic, but when you're in our situation, when you're far removed from what we were all used to when we all lived back in Scotland and we all went to the games, it definitely brings you that little bit closer to home. And again, that's why for us it's great interacting with you guys, messages coming through the chat room and stuff like that there as well. And it definitely makes us feel a little bit closer to home when we do things like this. And what Pat's saying there about the Celtic family, there's no two ways about it. It is a massive extended family. You meet people you've never met in your life before. Sometimes you'll bump into them, but if you see them wearing the hoops, there's an immediate connection, and there's you feel you know something about them. You've got straight away you've got a lot in common with them. And you're right. No matter where you are in the world, it gives you that sense of, I guess, belonging, and it gives you a sense of, it gives us all a sense of who we are, and we always remember where we came from and all the rest of it. But as the saying goes, it's much more than just a football club. That's for sure. It just impacts everybody in their daily lives. There's hardly a day goes by we won't be thinking about Celtic at some point during the day, and that goes for all of us over here as well. Not just everybody that's lucky enough to be back living and breathing it every hour of the day back in Scotland. So
you got
we've all got to be very proud of it.
Yeah, and hopefully people support. You think of all the podcasts and stuff like that go on. I mean, we're just one tiny little cog. We'd be probably the 18th least favourite flipping Celtic podcast. But you think of all the guys, all the guys on Home Boys, they obviously sort of leading the way. But 90 Minute Cynic, the Belfast Boy, Celtic Rock and Roars, all these guys, Smell the Glove, obviously, the Myrtle Beach Boys. So we do it because we enjoy it. But it's, again, I guess when Kev and myself really kicked this thing off, it was mainly just because, we want to be part of that Celtic family. We want to be, we don't want to be flipping superstars, and we don't want a job at Celtic Park, like they say some people do, but we just do it because it's a bit of a laugh, and if other people get a bit of a laugh out of it, then all the better. So
I don't know, but I'd maybe take a job at Celtic Park as long as I could work from home.
At Celtic Park.
See, I would take a job
but Kev,
but only midfielder up front. I wouldn't play in defence.
That's fair enough.
But Kev, what about the weather, Kev? What about the weather?
That's what I'm saying. I'd want to work from home.
Well, you can't work at Celtic Park if you're at home. And anyway, that's another story. Okay, move on. So that's with again, if anybody needs any sort of tips, tricks, and stuff like we did for our fundraising events. If anyone's doing something similar across the world, just drop us a note, get in touch with the Jockstein CSC here in Melbourne, and we'll happily pass it on. We'll give you any tips, tricks, and stuff like anything that we can help with. I know when we kind of started things off, Sarah from the Kano sort of gave us a few tips on where to go and to set targets and stuff like that. So every little bit helps and all that, you know what I mean? So, but again, thanks for everyone who did help. Thanks for everyone who donated. Martin, there was a bunch of T-shirts from a supporters club in Scotland, and was it the Wick CSC or something? I think it was the Wick CSC. I think it was something like 5 T-shirts from them from memory. So a polo shirts. I don't know who got them. They just I think it was Stevie Ennis in the pub, but just, there was stuff from all over the place. But basically a polo shirt from almost every CSC in Australia, with badges, with everything. It's not people just getting out of their way just to try and help out. You know what I mean? So. But especially thanks to all the folk everywhere who shaved their heads, because that was, I've got to say, that was flipping terrifying. Sitting in a pub with like 120 some people watching you get your head shaved, and everyone's laughing at you, and you don't know what they're laughing at. You know, you're thinking, have I got a Mohican or something? You know, has a guy done something funny to my hair? Is he written Rangers or something on it? You know, something like that, and you just don't know. It's flipping terrifying, but it's all grown back now, so it was just a stupid little thing and a fun thing to do at the time, but there's obviously other ways of raising money out there. So again, if anybody wants any help, just get in touch and we'll do the best we can.
All good. No, well done again, lads. Because as I said, a very, very worthy cause for some lovely people. And yeah, it just goes to show how big and caring the Celtic family are. Okay, we'll move on. We'll look ahead as well, guys, just to the weekend. So we've got a game against Dundee Hibernians tomorrow. Now again, fantastic kick-off time for us over here. It's a 7 o'clock for me in WA, and it's a 9 o'clock for you boys in Melbourne. 12 o'clock, of course, Celtic Park time. Game at Tanadice against Dundee Hibernians. Quite a tricky game on the back of a game that would have taken quite a bit out of us during the week against Malmo. How do you see it going, Martin?
Look, I heard a stat during the week, and I think it was 2011 was the last time we won. I think the first 3 games of the season, and I think it's that our mind will be on Malmo, not Dundee United. I think we'll hit them quickly at the start. I think we'll score 2 goals, and then we'll sit back. We'll kill the game off, get our guys off, and so I think it'll be 2-0 to us. Mm-hmm. I think who'll score? I don't know, but I don't know if we'll actually play Griffiths tomorrow, and then obviously Sivski's. He's
still
bad.
Suspended. Yeah,
still suspended. So I'm not sure who'll score. Let me think about that. But look, I think it'll be a nothing game. You know, we just one of those. We just want to get through it, not get any injuries, not pick up any, pick up any injuries or I don't know, players strain themselves or whatever. So that's my thing. I think it's just a nothing game. Get through it. Get in there. Get out. That's it.
They get absolutely hammered by Hamilton Accies last weekend, 4-0.
4-0.
So I mean they'll be looking to kind of bounce back, and it's a big game for them. So it's never an easy game. It doesn't really matter what kind of form they're in the run up to this. It's never an easy game against Dundee United, and they've got something to prove as well, given that we seem to pinch quite a few of their players recently.
I think it'll be a bit tasty. Because basically, well, there's 2 things. One, they'll be pissed off that we bought their players, but then any player that will play half good against us may get a contract with us so before the end of the window. So I think it'll actually be a bit tasty for us. Not that you want Celtic to win every game, but I think you don't really care.
Okay, I think that you're kind of right, I guess, Martin. I think everybody's got the big prize is dealing with Malmo next week. But I mean, we don't want to pick up losing habits as well. That's the other thing. We want to give a good account of ourselves up there as well. But you're right in the scheme of things. If you could say right now we won't pick up a win against Dundee United, but you could guarantee us being in the Champions League draw next week. I don't think there's a Celtic fan that would
when they
wouldn't
take
want
that.
that.
No, I think, Kev, but look, you're right. You don't want players to get out of a rhythm. If players are playing and they're happy to play, they just want to play.
Yeah.
You just don't want them. Sorry, I'm going to yawn. I'm banging
Oh,
neck up.
jeez. Bloody hell, you're right there.
That's always a bad sign. See when you're yawning while you're talking.
I know.
That's the worst sign ever.
Think how bored we are, Martin. Christ.
No, we've been trying to suppress it for so long when you open your gob.
Oh,
Can we just go ahead now?
I think you want players to play. Are you still listening to me? You want players to get into the rhythm of playing in that, but I would also, if MD is beating a rest, I wouldn't bother. I would put a second string team.
I know. Yes.
I didn't hear a word he was saying. Anyway.
You were going. No, Martin, we hear what you're saying, mate. We do hear what you're saying.
No, seriously,
so you're going for a 2-0 though.
Aye.
Even after all that, 2-0 the Celts.
Yep.
No, that's fair dues. Pat, what's your own thoughts on this game getting into it? We all know you've got a little soft spot for Dundee Hibernians as well.
I do. Actually, I met a Dundee United fan at work the other day. One of the contractors was in. I think one of the Sparkies doing work around our data centre was heard the accent. He goes, "Oh, where are you from, Airdrie? Blah blah blah." And he's going, "Oh,
do you not say Glasgow first?"
Oh, it's not Scottish.
He's
Scottish from Dundee. The guy's from Dundee. So anyway, chatting about him, and instantly he goes like, obviously big football fan. I love it. I love the attitude. So who do you support? First question he asked me. He went, "Who do you support? Rangers?" Obviously thinking, Airdrie, Rangers.
Did he know your name was Pat at this stage?
No, he didn't. No. I was like, no, and I've got.
He must think you look like a hun, though.
I probably do. I'm not an attractive man, so yeah, I probably do.
Vouch for that.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's no doubt about that. I don't hide the fact I'm, not an attractive man. I'm certainly punching above my weight. I had no idea why my wife actually wanted to marry me, but anyway, it's another story. I'm a nice guy though. I'm a nice guy, so.
A decent chap.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm a nice guy sometimes.
Right.
A decent chap, but a face like a well-scalped arse.
Absolutely. Don't hide the fact.
By a hun.
Yeah, so that was obviously because I look like a hun. He said Rangers. On my little lanyard thing, I've got my pass for work, and I've got a little Celtic thing. You've seen it, Kev, a little Celtic thing tucked inside. I just flashed that, and he went, "Oh yeah, Celtic man." He goes, "Oh, I didn't know who he supported at that time," and he went, "Oh, you're the team that takes all our players." Instantly, a bit of rapport, so a bit of banter going between me and this guy. So he doesn't think they were going too well, and that was before before the spanking from
before they get humped by Hamilton United.
Yep. It's on their own dung heap. They just beat Aberdeen at the start of the season. I can't remember first or second game. Aberdeen just beat them, I think 1-0. I should actually go and check the scores, get my facts right. But we shouldn't slip up with this one. Well, there's going to be a few guys coming in. I reckon they'll have a point to prove. I reckon out of all the guys that we've signed from them, I reckon only Mackay-Steven will start. Yeah, I reckon they'll rest Armstrong. I reckon Chifchi obviously won't be there. I guess the big one, we didn't even speak about it, was where they play Scott Allen.
I was just about to mention that part. Is this potential for Scott Allen's debut? I think it's
former United player as
set
well.
up for him.
Yeah, well, why not?
Yeah, former United player as well. You're right. And I think you're right. I think it's an opportunity to rest some players and get some of those guys in that are on the edge of things and trying to prove a point to Dyla. But yeah, it could be the perfect game to throw Scott Allen in for his debut.
Well, I mean, you might find guys like Rogic can start as well. I mean, obviously he's fancied him the past few games.
Yep.
Mulgrew maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I mean, he's got a few. The bottom line is that if you look at the squad now, I mean, they're obviously not world beaters, but there's a lot of good players there, a lot of different options he's got. So we should be taking care of guys like United, especially the fact they're not playing that well at the moment. They've only got sort of one win and one draw under the belt. Got spanked by Hamilton last week, beat by Aberdeen early in the season. So there's no reason why we shouldn't take all the points. I reckon. I'll probably go for 2-0. 2-0.
I think I'll make a hat trick of 2-0. 2-0's all round, guys. 2-0's all round. I'm not sure the scorers though, because I'm not sure if Griffiths will play or if they'll rest him and maybe even throw in Big Skepovic or something like that.
Well, that's it. I mean, I was looking at stuff earlier on about Skepovic on obviously, who was it? Maccabi Tel Aviv. Apparently interested in signing him, so maybe put him in the shop window for a little bit. I mean, it's one of those guys. Stokes, actually, what am I saying? Stokes would probably start the game. That's as good an option as any, you know what I mean? If he's sort of guy. Obviously, there's a bit of interest in Skepovic.
He's out of favour though, isn't he? He's really out of favour with Dyla just now. I think he would need to have horrendous injuries and stuff all over the place for Stokes to get a game just now.
Well, I said you wouldn't risk Griffiths, and Chifchi can't play.
Yeah.
Skepovic, if he's on the verge of a contract or sign a contract with another club, you might not want to take the risk of him. So you're running out of options, you know.
Well, that's true.
Stokes is the only one. I presume there's no option offer on the table for Stokes, so he could be the man. So either that, they take a risk and put somebody the way they put like a Scott Allen up front, something like that. I don't know, something stupid, but we'll see. We'll see how it go. I mean, I think the one with Lustig not playing right back, we'll see what he comes up with. I still reckon Janko will be the man. So Boyata, Van Dijk, probably Izagiri, I'm guessing, unless they bring in Charlie for left back or something. But Beaton was pulling up a little bit lame at the end of the game as well the other night, so maybe he might be due a rest. I don't know. He's got a few options. So if you bring in Stokes, Rogic, sorry, they could maybe drop out somebody like Johansson, who's obviously going to be pretty important next week as well. So yeah, I mean, he's got a few options, obviously, but we should be.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I don't think the important thing is that the eyes are on next Wednesday anyway. We want to give a good account of ourselves. Hopefully, we do bag 3 points. I don't think there's any Celtic fans who will be really, really pissed off if we don't bag 3 points on Saturday, as long as we get the result we want next week. But it'll be an interesting one. But it's a cracking kick-off time for us over here. Will you guys be watching it?
I'm going to football. I'm going to football Saturday night. So
St Kilda.
Yep. I've only got 2 more home games. We're playing Geelong.
So you'll miss it. You'll be watching St Kilda instead of the Hoops.
Well,
Grace.
Well, we'll probably be getting humped off Geelong, so I'll probably just leave at half time or something and just go home. Oh no, I've got a big day tomorrow. I've got 2 kids' birthday parties with my son, so it's going to be a long day. I can see me.
Here's me saying what a brilliant time it is as well for kick-offs, but you've still got other stuff on.
I've still got other stuff on. It's just quadruple booked for the weekend. So how can it not be Sunday? Should move games to Sunday. That's far more popular.
Saturday night, 7 o'clock kick-off for me. You just can't get better than that. Superb. Do all the stuff during the day. Settle down with the beers in the evening. We're actually we're going through a bit of we had our Mandara CSE AGM a couple of weekends ago, and we've decided we're going to put a little a tender document together, if you please, something like that, just to go out to our existing pub that we watch the games in, Friar Tuck's, but also Murphy's. So anybody from WA that's familiar with Mandara knows of Murphy's, which is right slap bang in the middle of the town. Irish pub, of course, but there's been quite a few members have been making noises about moving to Murphy's, so we've put out a nice little document that just asks a few questions and blah blah blah. But Murphy's have pretty much verbally said to us that they'd put in Celtic TV for us, which is pretty good. So if that all goes through, we need to just wait and see what the responses back from both pubs are, right enough, and then we take a vote on it. But Celtic TV probably wouldn't be an option in Friar Tuck's. We tried it at the beginning of last season and we never got it set up, and it was an old telly and he's not changing the telly and it's all this kind of stuff. Whereas Murphy's would be able to go in and watch the games in there on Celtic TV, which would pretty much mean we could watch the game in the pub every single weekend, which is also a bonus for the pub as well. So we'll see how that goes, but tomorrow night's probably going to come too soon. in terms of getting anything like that organised. But so I'll probably just be watching it in the house again. But I'll be sitting back, having a few beers, watching that at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, cheering on the Hoops. So it should be good. Should be good. But yeah, I reckon it'll be a 2-0 as well, guys. As I said, I don't think won't predict scorers because honestly it's difficult to predict what the team will be. But hopefully we should have enough to beat them. We should have enough to beat them.
So you think Scott Allen will play?
I have a feeling he will, actually. I have a feeling he will play. I would see no reason to not play him tomorrow, especially if Dyla is going to make some changes or would like to make some changes. I think it's one of those things. He's a new player coming in. He might give the other boys a little bit of a boost when a new player comes to a club and stuff like that as well. We'll see. But so yeah, I would quite like to see him play. A lot of it for the simple reason that I don't really recall ever seeing Scott Allen. I don't know him well as a player. I don't know what he's capable of. I've heard good things about him. Alistair Jack had said in the chat room there that he's got a killer pass. But I'd just like to see the guy and see what he's capable of. So it's a good opportunity for him, I think, tomorrow. So time will tell. Time will tell. So anyway, guys, I think we've pretty much covered everything we were going to speak about tonight. So we might as well start wrapping it up. So Martin, have you got anything, or were you going to say something there, Patrick?
No, I was going to say, Kev, you doing footy tips this year? Like AFL footy tips?
I didn't do them, but because I had changed jobs and stuff like that. So, and at the time I was only contracting, but I'm now working full time with them. But at the time when they started off, I didn't know how long I'd be there for, so I never did them. Michelle did them this year, but she kept forgetting to put her tips in, and waste of time.
Well, Kev, I chatted to guys at work today. I work with a Port Adelaide supporter and the Richmond supporter, so that's the two guys I work closest to. And I was chatting away. Port Adelaide were playing the Premiers Hawthorn tonight, and they
were winning earlier on. What's the score just now?
They win by 4 goals.
Port
Adelaide won.
Oh,
and not only that,
good news for the Dockers, mate. Good news for the Dockers.
Port Adelaide were, when I checked yesterday, and again I'm not a betting man, but when I checked yesterday in the paper, they were $10 for the win.
I was going to say they were $10 because I saw the price before the start of the game.
Yep.
You wouldn't have bet them though, would you?
I didn't think that was a bad bet. No, I'm not a betting man, but I do know my football.
Why they were that price?
Yep. No, I don't think Hawthorn are the team they're made out to be, and you got a team that pressurised them back. But anyway, I'll have to text my mate because we were chatting before, just left work, and I said I think those odds are a bit unfair. And I did the same with Richmond a few weeks ago against Hawthorn. They were something like $8 or something like that. Yeah. And I said the same thing. I said those odds are just not right. And if I was really brave enough, then I'd put $5 or $10 on it because I'm obviously splashing the cash can.
Oh, absolutely, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because
you love me talking about my $5 bets.
I do, mate. I love you talking about your little $5 cheeky bets.
Do you know, I haven't put a bet on, I reckon, in 6 months. Ever since I had my little winning spree with Tip against Rangers.
That's good, but you're spot on. I must admit, I would not have fancied Port Adelaide tonight against them. But I must admit, when I did see they were $10, I agree. I thought that was quite high. I didn't think they'd be around about that. I reckon $6 or $7, maybe, but $10 was paying quite $10, which is the equivalent of 9-1 back home. I should maybe just point out for all you betting fans back home. Yep. John Mackay has left a message in the chat room to say that Lustig is fit, lads. Breaking news.
It's there was a thing popped up on BBC saying it might not be as bad.
Yep.
Stretchered off. However, Dyla has revealed the Sweden international could return in time to face Malmo on Tuesday's return leg.
Mm-hmm.
But I did see a tweet by someone earlier. I don't often go into Twitter, and it was along the lines of either that's a brilliant recovery or Lustig's just a big pussy. I think it was along the lines for crying.
Oh, for God's sake! He was quite upset, wasn't he?
Yes. So anyway,
but you can understand that with what he's been through. He's probably just seen his whole Champions League potentially slipping away from him.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully, no. It'd be great if he is. It'd be great if he is fit. But again, is he 100% fit, or are they going to take a risk with him? That's the thing. It'll be interesting to see if he's involved tomorrow at all.
I wouldn't think he'd be involved tomorrow.
Yeah,
certainly.
I think you'd maybe be right there.
I think that'd be a massive risk. I think, but Edgar Blam on Twitter, mixed feelings about Lustig's injury being less serious than we feared. Would love him to play, but it means he's a pussy for crying.
I think that's very unfair by Edward Blam.
Anyway, never mind. Quite funny. I'd hardly ever go on Twitter these days anymore, but yes. So hopefully he makes. I can't see him playing tomorrow, but give a young guy a crack. Give the guy who's going to replace him potentially a run in the team, whether it's Ambrose or whether it's
Say the Yanko. I think Yanko will get a game tomorrow as well, potentially, just because it's worth giving him a run out, see what he can do. He might put himself into contention for next week. You never know. You never know. Anyway, we shall see. So, Martin, have you got anything you'd like to say before we wrap up? Pat's got a treat for everybody or nobody in terms of what he's playing us out with.
Shout out to my wife and Three Wings. MD and Osman Glasgow, people from the Tony Mowbray bus at the Ram's Head, especially Anthony Gallagher, who I used to go to school with, any of my family in Scotland and around the world, and that'd be probably it.
Beautiful, beautiful. What are you up to the weekend? Are you going to see the Bombers?
No. What am I doing? I'll be taking Eddie to basketball tomorrow, where he'll have a good game. Might go for a bike ride with Charlie, then out for dinner tomorrow night, then home for the game. And there'll be some stuff on Sunday that I've got no idea about, so aye.
Because you get your diary arranged by the Minister for Social Affairs and Finance.
And I'm very pleased by that.
You're the same as me, mate. Same as me.
Right.
It's all
20
good.
years, Martin? Did I read that right? 20 years?
20. Me and my missus, 20 years going out anniversary yesterday.
The going out anniversary.
Going out anniversary.
Going out anniversary. Everyone's saying it. It's the end. Right?
Just keep saying it. Let's get it in the chat room. Come on, put it in the chat room. Somebody going out anniversary.
On Twitter. No, going out, 20 years going out anniversary. So I went out for a nice meal last night. Mate, steak meal. Pulled out all the stops. Let her have an entree and dessert. A full shebang.
Oof, an entree for everybody back home. That's starters.
Okay.
Is that like sexual innuendo, or was it genuinely you were out for dessert?
No, generally out for dinner.
All right, okay.
He went out for a bit of. There you go, Connor. G's put in the going out anniversary.
I said Pat.
Good on you, Connor.
Pat, we're from the west of Scotland, so starter would be like foreplay, and we just don't do that.
Speak for yourself, Martin. Speak for yourself.
Starters. See, when you were wee, did you have starters and afters? Did you call it dessert when you were wee?
No, pudding.
Afters. What are you having for afters?
Ice cream, custard.
Pudding.
Aye, and vanilla ice cream. That was it.
That's it.
Called it afters. It was just afters. What are you having for afters? Ice cream.
Ooh.
Maybe a bit of jelly. Maybe a bit of jelly sometimes.
No. If you were really posh, Kev, trifle.
Oh,
that was only special occasion.
Exactly, yeah.
It was like Christmas Day and stuff.
Christmas Day, trifle was always an option, but I was always a Christmas pud man myself with the brandy.
No. I said Black Forest Gatto. I was
the Gatto.
No, I hated that. That was rubbish.
What?
Cherries in it. It's disgusshing. No, I don't like cherries. They're rubbish.
It's tasty. What about the good old classic, the Viennetta?
Oh, yes.
The poshest dessert you could ever have in your life, the Viennetta.
The only thing it could be made more posher than when coffee, you bring out the after 8 mints.
Oh, the after eights. And you have them at 5 to 7 and be mental.
Just go mental.
We only got them at Christmas.
Yeah.
After eights were a popular Christmas item in the O'Neill household. Yes.
I'm still going back to my favourite, and it's probably still my favourite even now. Is Terry's chocolate orange.
Oh, they're nice things. They're quite good.
Yes, I do like orange chocolate. So there you go. I'll tell you, 1 year over here, and I've only ever seen it 1 year in my whole life. There's only one thing can beat a Terry's chocolate orange, and it's a Terry's white chocolate orange. Oh man, it was brilliant.
Sure about that.
It was only at Christmas, and they had like a snowball. I think it was called a snowball, and it was delicious. And then I haven't ever seen one since. But that was the best chocolate I've ever had, I reckon. Oh,
white chocolate orange.
Yep, Terry's chocolate orange is my favourite. So we should get sponsored by them, Kev. Forget your Heineken pish. Terry's chocolate orange.
The old Heineken pish. It's going down well tonight, boys. Tell you, needing another one. So we'll wrap this up post haste. Right. So no, I've not really got anything to say. Watch the game tomorrow night. Unfortunately, not with the Mandara CSE because we don't have it in the pub yet, but hopefully we will soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, Pat, you're going to play us out with. We were talking a little bit of AFL a short while ago. There, you're insisting on playing some AFL tunes. You want to explain a little bit about AFL and theme tunes that the teams have over here to people back home that won't get this.
Well, firstly, people see us as the Aussie Celtic podcast, so we should try and, even though there's somebody from Japan,
particularly tonight, seeing as Liam's not with us, yes, we definitely are the Aussie podcast tonight.
So we thought we'd try and bring an Australian sort of.
When you say we,
twist.
You mean you?
Me, yeah, because I'm the one that normally does the music and stuff like that, and sometimes it's hard to pick the right song and all that sort of stuff. So what I thought we'd do is to try and enlighten people back home. Just to let them know about the Australian way is each club has a theme song. I guess it's like the Hail Hail the Celts are here kind of. I guess it's the one theme song that in fact it's pretty much the only song every club sings.
Yeah, the majority of them are shit.
They are like but like some are pretty good though. I do. There's
a few they really are all crap, but. Okay.
But there's one or two good ones. But so what we thought we'd do is we'd start off tonight, obviously with the clubs that the three of us support. So Kev's is Fremantle Dockers, so they'll be the third on the list because they're the worst of the three songs because it is one of the fucking worst theme songs ever.
We'll let the listeners decide.
Patrick, no, it's pish. Let me try and influence them. It's pish. The Bombers one's not too bad, apart from the fact that the team are a bunch of junkies. And then there's
the Who Bombers, Patrick?
They are the Bongers, not the Bombers, the Bongers.
The Essendon Bombers.
So they, we'll talk about them another time.
That's Martin's team.
Martin's team. And they sacked, their coach resigned during the week because under a cloud of drug taking and stuff. So they are being investigated by WADA, so the Worldwide Anti-Doping Association, I guess. So they are being investigated for taking the wrong type of substances. And their coach, who is a stubborn man and a bit of a stuck-up, well, a bit of an arse really, but an Essendon legend. He denied any responsibility for it, so he has been under pressure. The team are not performing. They were predicted to be in the finals this year, and they kind of fucked up. Even my team, who are a bunch of wee laddies, we're still above you in the ladder.
Right.
Anyway, so
and
there's
the ladder, folks, is the league.
Oh, the league, yeah, sorry, that's the league table. So and then there's my team, St Kilda, who are one of always the underdog and not one of the biggest teams in the competition, but I follow them with a passion with my mate Brian Kenny from East Kilbride. And so we're going to do the theme songs.
And they've also got one of the least imaginative theme songs that you could think.
We do have.
Remember the name? It's St Kilda. Have a little guess yourselves right now what the theme song might be.
Ave Maria?
St Kilda.
St Kilda Saints. There you go. So we're known as the Saints. But anyway,
guess in the chat room right now if you want. Before it comes on, you'll win a prize.
Do you know what the theme song used to be for St Kilda? All those years ago.
Enlighten me.
Would you like to be beside the seaside?
Seriously?
Yep. That used to be the theme song in the 20s and stuff like that. So
100 times better than the current one.
Yeah. So anyway,
let's start playing the music. Come on.
We'll play
Seriously,
a few.
I want to know. See, when you hear all this, I want to know, everybody out there, neutrals, what's the best of these three that you're going to hear tonight?
The Bombers is the best of the three. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Is it hell?
It is.
Oh,
It is.
Anyway,
Teaming a bunch of junkies, but you know, it's
the listeners decide.
So what we'll do is we'll play one or two. Because they don't go for long, apart from the flipping Frio one. It seems to go forever because it's fucking boring.
Dockers.
Oh, it's fucking boring.
Frio a boo.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's only surpassed by another Western Australian team as West Coast Eagles, which is equally bad. But, there's a couple of new teams.
I'll give you the fact that the Eagles one is absolutely disgraceful.
I would actually say yours is...
There's no point. There's no point there.
Martin, are you going to jump in here? What do you reckon? Who's the worst, Eagles or the Frio song?
Frio.
I reckon Frio's worse.
Typical stairs.
It's terrible. So anyway, there's Kev wouldn't let me play the Richmond Tigers one, which is one of the more popular ones in Australia. But we might even start the show off the next one with the Richmond Tigers. I know, but it's just to let people hear the song. That's all. It's just to try and lighten people. So what happens over here when a game finishes in AFL? The team who wins, they go into the dressing room. And they get in a big huddle. Basically, the whole team goes in a huddle and they sing the club theme song, and it's shown live on TV and all that sort of stuff. So whenever the game finishes, the cameras follow the team into the dressing room. The camera goes in the middle and they sing all the theme song for the club. So,
and it doesn't matter is it a home or an away game. Whoever wins a game, it gets played right after the final siren as well.
That's right. Over the tannoy. So
you could be at your home ground, and if you don't win, the other team gets their song played. Twice.
Three times, Kev.
Three times now?
Three times over here. Always has been.
Right, okay. And then they go in and sing it themselves.
Which doesn't bother me because St Kilda theme song is less than a minute. So it's...
You don't hear it that often this weather anyway, do you?
Oh, I've done it right this year.
She's getting pumped.
6 wins for the season. That's not too bad. For
right,
a bunch
put
of
them on. This is a build up to something.
Anyway, I know.
Shouldn't be.
Let's play the music.
My team's first just because, well, I made it up. So anyway, enjoy. We'll catch you next time. Not next week.
We will catch you next time.
Take care, guys.
Not next week. Kev's picked out on us. We're not going to do it next week. Are we?
Nah, we'll see. We'll play it by ear.
Yeah, all right.
Right, hail, guys.
Hooroo, folks.
Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be with St Kilda when the Saints go marching in. When the
are the signers.